Before his death, Peter Falk quietly revealed a truth that challenged Hollywood's polished image, exposing what he believed were the darker sides of 7 fellow actors. But his life story began long before those confessions. On September 16, 1927, when he was born Peter Michael Falk in New York City and raised in Ossining, shaped early by adversity after losing his right eye to cancer at just 3 years old. An experience that forged a resilience he would later transform into an acting strength, using his glass eye to enhance characters who appeared harmless but concealed sharp intelligence, a reflection of Falk himself, who grew up in a working-class household with a bookkeeper mother and a father who owned a clothing store, developing a fascination with storytelling despite never planning to act, serving instead as a merchant marine cook during World War II before earning degrees in political science and public administration, and even holding a stable job as a Connecticut state budget analyst until the pull of performance became irresistible in his late 20s, driving him to study under Sanford Meisner and break through theater, Broadway, and eventually Hollywood, where his gritty performances in crime dramas like Murder, Incorporated and Pocketful of Miracles earned consecutive Oscar nominations and established him as a formidable presence. But it was the creation of Lieutenant Columbo in 1968 that forever changed television, as Falk infused the rumpled detective with improvisation, subtlety, and humanity, turning Just One More Thing into a cultural touchstone while winning 4 Emmy Awards and redefining how intelligence could be portrayed on screen, all while balancing a deeply personal life that included a marriage to Syracuse University classmate Alice Mayo, the adoption of daughters Catherine and Jackie, and later a long, loyal partnership with actress Shara Danes, who appeared frequently on Columbo and stood beside him through illness and aging. Yet as the years passed and Alzheimer's slowly dimmed the brilliance that once defined him, Falk spoke candidly in rare moments about Hollywood shadows, recalling 7 actors whose behavior he found genuinely harmful rather than merely difficult, beginning with George C. Scott, whose volcanic temper left sets paralyzed, followed by Robert Mitchum, whose cold disdain for others disturbed Falk deeply, Telly Savalas, whom he described as manipulative and power-hungry behind a charming facade. Rod Steiger, whose emotional brutality toward colleagues crossed unforgivable lines, James Coburn, whose public charm masked what Falk believed was predatory cruelty, Anthony Quinn, whose ego often tipped into meanness, and Lawrence Harvey, whom Falk considered dangerously manipulative, stressing that evil in Hollywood rarely looks monstrous but often hides beneath charisma and talent. And when Falk passed away quietly at his Beverly Hills home on June 23, 2011, at the age of 83, from pneumonia and complications of Alzheimer's disease, the irony was not lost on those who loved him, that a man celebrated for portraying razor-sharp perception would be claimed by memory loss. Yet even in his final years, his kindness, humor, and dignity remained intact, remembered lovingly by his daughters and honored by fans who still visit his grave at Westwood Village Memorial Park, leaving notes and flowers for the man whose legacy was not just a television icon in a beige raincoat, but a lifelong observer of human nature who understood better than most that truth, like the best mysteries, often hides in plain sight.